Here we are again, Kevin.
Good to see you, Jason.
You too, my friend.
Appreciate the work you do.
Thank you so much, and I think I speak for everyone when I say we appreciate the work that you do.
Thanks.
It's really been an honor and a pleasure for me to document your total evisceration of the Clinton Foundation, I believe is how we categorized it last time. The sun has been slamming us here. We've just started a moment ago, and now I should have probably added an ND filter. We may indeed have to close those shades, but we're going to be going in depth in a little while here at 6:30 Eastern on our brand new Patreon-only show, Intelligence Assessment with Kevin Shipp, and I'm so excited to announce that with you today, Kevin. It's important that we share with people the information that you have, but at the same time we need to find a balance, because when people like yourself and other whistleblowers that we've spoken to, including Robin Gritz, including Michael Dick, Michael McMahon, others out there, you aren't just dismissed from your positions in these three-letter agencies. Your lives are utterly ruined, and you're left with not only a difficulty in getting employed, but actual active obstacles to your employment. So I wanted to work with you to create this Patreon-only program to help boost up your Patreon webpage. Because I noticed that you started it recently, and there's not a whole lot of people on there just yet. I'm trying to adjust your exposure here because we're so overexposed. Let me just close the blinds here a bit so we're not...
It's that beautiful Jacksonville sun.
Yeah, oh, you've just revealed our undisclosed location, but it's at your discretion,
no,
sir.
No worries. Somewhere deep in Jacksonville, just like my studio.
Right.
Somewhere deep in the southern United States.
That's much better.
No worries. My favorite city.
Yeah. So basically what we're doing right now, just here on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, all the usual platforms that we're on, we're letting people know that they can get onto Patreon, and just as with my Patreon exclusive shows that I've been doing with Quinn Michaels, people can choose to join the Crowdsource the Truth Patreon page, or they can join your Patreon page. Right now I'm sharing with people your regular web page, which of course is fortheloveoffreedom.net, and people can go there and purchase your book. The book, of course, has the code that you've spoken about in the past. Now, you were just telling me earlier when we were talking that you've done something rather surprising relative to the code from the book. Do you want to talk about that?
Yes, there's information that I've been holding for a few years, just kind of assessing the risk and the benefit to people that are listening. So I just I put out some of the things on the cover-up tab, some documents that actually show the U.S. government trying to block documents, destroy documents, illegally using surveillance, and all the things that now I've come out to expose, and yourself and others. So I put a new tab that's got the actual documents in there. It's got photographs of the decontamination team after our house was broken into, packaging our stuff up to be destroyed, including my kids' toys and things. So I just added that tab recently, and so there's been a jump in people accessing that. So if they want to see something really interesting in terms of me catching them kind of with their hand in the cookie jar, that's a good place to go.
Catching the CIA with their hand
Correct.
in the cookie jar.
Yes.
And it's an amazing story how they tried to basically assassinate you and your family. It really paints a picture of an incredibly vindictive and all-powerful agency that overreaches well beyond its already unconstitutional charter.
Yeah.
So it's something that people should really dig into there. And again, to watch Intelligence Assessment with Kevin Shipp, which is going to appear every week, Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, people can sign up for Patreon. They can join your page, which if they just go to patreon.com, you are Kevin_Shipp. And I think it's possible that I might be your only patron on there.
Yeah,
right
matter of fact, we just brought that account up, me and my business manager. We've been kind of flying many times out of pocket because of the belief in the mission. And of course, we don't accept advertisers because then we're controlled. So we've had to develop ways to provide for our travel expenses, our expenses with IT and video and things. And that's why we've got Patreon up, and the donation tab on the website is to be able to fund the travel and interviews like this and other things. Golly, I think we just finished it a week ago, the main page. So we're still kind of new to Patreon.
Mm-hmm. But it's a good resource, and I think that the people that have been enjoying the Patreon-only live streams that Quinn Michaels and I have been doing are really appreciating the special content that we put there for them. And I think it's important that people who support you, people who support Crowdsource the Truth, they should be getting something special.
Absolutely.
But that's not it. What we're really doing here is we're trying to circumvent this whole subversive crew of people that have penetrated social media. They've realized that with each passing year, there are more and more people turning away from mainstream news and mainstream media outlets in general. I think that in 2008, when Barack Obama was running for president, we didn't have that many people going on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all of these other things. You basically got your news from the New York Times, the Washington Post, the LA Times, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, etc. And then your small town papers would basically report on what these papers were reporting on. So it's really the advent of this social media explosion that's allowed individuals like you, like me, to come out on these venues and to share this information, and we've come under fire. There have been people who, you know, in your case, the CIA, of course, and you've experienced lawfare, where they've brought legal cases and threatened with criminal cases against you.
Physical break-ins and on and on.
All of that stuff. It's crazy. And now I think what we're seeing is teams of individuals, groups of YouTube and Twitter influencers who have ulterior motives, who are perhaps not what they appear to be, that are preventing us from getting the word out on traditional channels like YouTube. So by creating Patreon pages for Crowdsource the Truth and for your work, people can join and they can see this exclusive content. I've been making an effort to put more exclusive content on there. I think a lot of people know I've been doing shows with Quinn Michaels, and of course all the regular content shows up there as well. For people who are watching on Patreon, they've got the added benefit of not having to deal with fake bot troll accounts.
That's right. We get a lot of that,
We do. And even at $1 per month, it really throws a wrench into the plans of individuals who are able to manipulate these other platforms by controlling thousands of sock puppet accounts. We don't want to play to their strength. We want to move the game to our venue where people who really want this information can come and get it. And by keeping that financial entry down to $1 per month, it really is a small amount, and people who are able to afford one Coca-Cola or a pack of cigarettes or one coffee per month should be able to find enough budget to be able to make that happen. We're not trying to squeeze anybody for money. We're just trying to change the rules of the game to put a barrier up there. So
that's absolutely right. We're stopping all the trolling we've been getting, all the algorithms that's been marking down the number of likes on our YouTubes, and on and on and on it goes. And it's a beautiful way to control all that and control our own content, and then eventually we'll be putting out things to Patreon subscribers that we haven't put out anywhere else, and so we're able to be free from all this things on YouTube and Facebook and others where they're actually trying to control our content, and this kind of gets us free from that, which is really, really important.
That's right, and it's important for people to know that they can choose to subscribe to Kevin Shipp on Patreon. They can choose to subscribe to Crowdsource the Truth on Patreon, either or. They could do both if they want. And even if people don't want to subscribe to either of those Patreon pages, we're going to continue to produce free content on the normal channels, but this is going to be really important. There's some special things that you and I are going to be getting into in the next couple of months. We've got a project we're going to be announcing next week with Dr. Corsi that should be very interesting. And you and I have been discussing quite a lot of things. So people are going to be able to see the first episode of Intelligence Assessment with Kevin Shipp in just 20 minutes. So I definitely want to encourage people to get onto patreon.com. If you are not yet subscribed to Kevin's Patreon page, please do that. Please subscribe to both Kevin and to Crowdsource the Truth. And I want to thank all of the generous Patreon subscribers that are there already. And we're going to say hello, hopefully, to a bunch of new Patreon subscribers. And we'll be back in just a few minutes with the very first intelligence assessment.
Outstanding.
I look forward to it.
Me too.
Thank you, Kevin, and thanks, everyone.
Absolutely.
See you there.